guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review on a fairly new foundation at ULTA. This is the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation. It's 100% vegan and cruelty free. A lot of you guys recommended me trying this foundation, so I was like, I need to go check it out. So if you want to continue watching, please go ahead and do so. So the first thing I want to go ahead and talk about is a little bit more about the foundation. You guys know that usually for more like affordable priced items, you don't really get much description on the product. Now this one I would say Pacifica is more on the affordable side just because it's not super expensive, but this foundation does retail for $18. It's supposed to be a foundation that gives you a flawless coverage. It has 30 shades for real skin tones. It's an innovative, non-comedogenic, dermatologist-tested formula to give you a smooth finish, covers pores, and lasts through the entire day. It's free of silicone, parabens, and a huge list of other items you don't love. The key ingredients are hyaluronic acid, which supports the skin moisture, also coconut water for balancing, and rose leaf extract for antioxidant properties. And after 6 weeks, people say that their skin feels healthier and it feels smoother. So it's really nice to hear that this is more of a clean foundation just because you guys know a lot of us nowadays worry a lot about the ingredients put into a foundation. Now, if you want to do further research on what other ingredients this foundation may have, you can go ahead and do that for yourself. So this does come in 30 shades, which is interesting because at my ULTA, they don't have all 30 shades. So I kind of had to look at what they had and I was like, And it's funny because I was about to say they don't have that big of a shade range, but I'm guessing that online at ULTA, they do show the big range also on their website. I'm excited to test this out. It does come with a nice pump. It actually comes like this with this cap on, and then you remove that. And here you get 0.9 ounces, which is a little tiny bit less than standard size. It's supposed to be a satin finish, oil-free, and anti-shine foundation. I did pick this up in warm medium 25WN. I'm hoping it matches me. We'll see. What do I want to use? I have so many primers lately that it's just hard for me to pick one. I think I'm going to stick to this one by First Aid Beauty. This is the Hello Fab one. I did a review on this, and this is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. So this is great for my people that have oily skin. Also, if you want to cover up any of those pores, this is definitely something to look into. So we're just going to apply this all over. It's also another really clean product. So that's why I love it a lot, because I feel like whenever I feel like my skin needs really sensitive friendly products, these are some that I gear towards. Excuse my hair, it's like a hot mess. I was trying to decide if I wanted to like straighten it or do something spectacular with it, but I'm like, you know what, I'm doing a foundation review, so I kind of need my hair away from my face. So I was like, let me just throw it up and put on some cute earrings and call it a day. We're gonna move on to the actual foundation application. We're gonna be using a sponge. We're gonna be using a foundation brush for the other side. My JH03 brush, Kabuki brush by Morphe, and like I mentioned, the sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and wet this, so give me one sec. Okay, so I'm gonna take the foundation and pump it out. I hope this is a good color. That's what the color looks like. It feels nice and creamy. And we're just gonna take some of that. Feels very, very soft. We're gonna take our sponge. Doesn't really have a scent. It does have a little bit of luminosity that I'm seeing right away, but it's almost like radiance from within, so it looks nice. It doesn't look like too luminous. I just feel like it looks like skin, and lately I've been into that more skin-like look just because sometimes I do have a little bit more enhanced texture, and I find that when I wear a very heavy thick foundation, it tends to enhance my texture way more than when I wear something that's a little bit more lighter in consistency. That kind of just blends and meshes well with the foundation. I would say it's a medium coverage foundation. You definitely can build upon, especially if you do have redness. If you have more redness than me, you probably will do 2 pumps and use up this leftover. But if you don't have any blemishes and you have pretty even skin tone, I feel like for medium coverage, you'll get that full coverage finish. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna take it onto this side, but I can really see the difference with the foundation. I feel like it looks really nice. So now we're gonna move on to our kabuki brush, and we're gonna see how it does with a brush. I do have to say with sponge, it looks absolutely beautiful. Maybe with the kabuki brush, we'll get fuller coverage because I feel like sometimes with a damp sponge, it can absorb a little bit of that extra product. So let's go ahead and see how this will do. I always like to dot my foundation because I feel like I can really pick and choose where I really want the most coverage around it. That's why I like to dot it. Just gonna kind of press it in. I feel like I'm getting similar results. Like it looks nice doing either or. And it also really helps when you try foundation that, you know, claims to be more cruelty free and is supposed to be more on the clean side, because I feel like I mentioned earlier, people pay a lot of attention to ingredients nowadays, and I think that's very important. It's very smart because you want to know exactly what you're putting onto your skin, because at the end of the day, your skin is one of the most important things that you have. So it's really nice to have that. Okay, so you can see that's with the leftover of what we had from this side, and I feel like it did a pretty great job of covering any little redness that may have been on this cheek, and also really giving it like that life. I feel like my skin looks like it has life right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the leftover and then we just need to cover this little area, which you can tell looks like it needs some coverage. I really am so happy that brands have been making the foundation consistencies in general like more lightweight, more creamy, almost like moisturizer-like, because I feel like for a time, a lot of brands came out with very thick foundations. And yes, maybe that was like the thing, and it gave you super full coverage, but now so many brands are coming out with lighter weight consistencies that still give you really high coverage. It blends beautifully. But I do find that with foundations that are more of a like creamy consistency, they tend to soak into your skin and become one with it, as opposed to super thick clay-like foundations, which I feel like sit on top of the skin a lot. Another thing that I'm noticing right now is that because I do have a little bit of dry skin on my cheeks because of my rosacea, like sandpaper-like, it tends to sometimes cling onto my skin and make it look very dry, but this foundation does not look dry whatsoever. It looks very healthy, and it's still carrying that like radiance from within. Like once this one has set, I feel like you just have this natural glow right here, almost like you're wearing highlight. So this is with the foundation on both sides. We covered everything. I have to say that it doesn't matter what you use, whether you use a sponge or a brush, you're going to get beautiful results with it. I do feel like maybe if you're looking for a little bit more full coverage faster, I would go in with a brush. That's typically what I recommend for a lot of foundations. With whatever powder I have left over, I for sure will go ahead and dust it off, like in these areas where I tend to get a little bit of oil. But I think with that, I will be okay. But truly, we're gonna go ahead and see how this does through the day. I'll give you guys my updates, my in natural lighting check-in, and that can really determine everything for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions, let you guys know if anything changed, if anything got better, and see how it did with all my other products, and then we can go ahead and start the day. So if you wanna continue watching and seeing where this takes us and my first impressions, then please go ahead and do so. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup, and I really love how everything turned out. I will have all the details in my description box for you guys. But I have to say, I'm very impressed with this foundation. Everything went on top so beautifully. I had no issues blending anything. My blush blended out beautifully, my bronzer, my baking. I did go ahead and do what I told you guys I was gonna do. I baked my under eyes because of the creasing. I have to do it if you guys are new to my channel. I crease a lot, so I need to bake. And I ended up just using the leftover powder of the baking to just kind of apply it in areas where I may have gone oily. So like this area mainly is where I tend to produce a lot of oil. So I just used it in that area, and then everything else is just the foundation. And I feel like just doing that small thing for somebody that does have oily skin is definitely a positive. Now I do have to say that the face, especially my face, because I do have naturally oily skin, did look a little bit more luminous than I would have liked it at one point. So I just thought that for somebody that loves a matte finish, you probably won't like this. This is definitely for somebody that wants a more skin-like, wants some radiance in there, and is willing to set it a little bit and then have like a more like semi-soft matte finish. Once you set it, I feel like that's the type of finish I get, but this definitely isn't going to leave your skin matte whatsoever. Now, I'm really curious to see if I'm going to remain oil-free through the day. It does claim to be an oil-free consistency. If you do have dry skin, then you probably will also like this formula because it has a very nice, soft, I don't want to say liquidy, but it's more so on a very smooth, creamy formula base where it sinks into your skin perfectly without it being too thick where it can definitely break apart. It won't do that for your dry skin. Because I feel like it looks so beautiful. And even with the powder that I placed on top in the areas where I need it, I still feel like it looks like skin. It doesn't look like, oh my God, cakey or too heavy. Right now it is 9:24 a.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. And then I'll see you guys at the very end of the day to give you guys my final thoughts on this Alight foundation by Pacifica. So far, so good, and I'm hoping that it stays that way. So if you want to continue watching, then you know what to do. Okay guys, so I am back right now. It is 6:57 p.m., pretty much 7 p.m. at night. I've been wearing this foundation since like 9:30, the last time I saw you guys in the morning. So it's been a very long day, and I think I have some well-developed thoughts. So I want to start off by saying that the foundation does look a little dewy, I have to say. I feel like if we blot it down, it would be fine. But the one thing that I am noticing that I'm not a big fan of is the fact that as soon as you blot it or you touch it, the product removes super easily. It's not gonna be one of those foundations where you put it on and it sticks and it stays. Something that may not work for you, especially if you do have oily skin. It's more noticeable because of your oils. I also found that through the day now with my oils, I feel like it did make my texture look a little bit more enhanced. So overall, I would have to say that this foundation is more suited for people that have normal to dry skin. I feel like for them, it'll give them a beautiful, nice finish that has a pretty skin-like radiance that you're going to appreciate, that on your skin will look fabulous. It won't look like it's super, super dewy on you, but it won't look like it's like a matte foundation. For somebody that is oily, you are going to witness the oils and it's not going to be your best friend. So I just would say for an oily skin person, I would probably pass, especially for $18. You could probably find something cheaper that will keep you matte, or something more high-end that will keep you matte that won't have to go through this. But I feel like the thing that's mainly holding me back, just as a whole, I would say for everybody, not just for oily skin, is that if you do touch it or something, it will remove. So just be mindful of this. This is definitely not one of those foundations that I would want to wear to like an event or somewhere where I wouldn't want my foundation to be like kind of coming off through the day. So that's just something to note right there. But I thought that in the beginning, it looked very beautiful, and I thought that it blended out super nicely, and it just was giving me great vibes, but definitely through the day, I don't think it has that really good lasting power. So that's the one thing that I was like, I don't know about this one. But I do have to say another thing that I did notice is that when I would touch it, my face felt really sticky. So that's another thing that some people may not like. I know some people don't mind it, some people do mind it, so I just wanted to throw that out there in case that's another thing that you were trying to figure out about this Pacifica foundation. So those are pretty much all my thoughts. I really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to what I had to say. Let me know if you guys have tried this foundation and what you personally think of it. Is it something that you are obsessed with? Is it something that you're just kind of like, about? Let me know, because I always love having a conversation with you guys down below in the comment section. It's a lot of fun to interact with you guys and just to kind of see where your mind's at with certain products. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these types of videos. Also, please don't forget to hit that notification notification bell so you never miss a video. And also, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. I hope that this video encouraged you to stick around and subscribe because I love growing our family here. We're almost at 30K and I'm like, what? Really? What? It's amazing. So that being said, I love you guys and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.